Hi, I'm Olivia.
Hi, I'm Poppy.
Hi, I'm Phoebe.
Hi, I'm Brogan.
Hi, I'm Sharon, and you're listening to the SassQuatches.
So, hello everybody. Welcome to tonight's podcast, which is an incredibly special one because here with us today we have Sharon Rooney, who plays Rael in My Math Diary.
Hello. Hi.
First of all, we'd like to thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us. It means a lot to us and all of the other fans who support us too.
This podcast is going to be done in 2 parts, so we can make it an hour special. It's just the way this website works. So make sure you stay tuned in for both parts.
And over the past couple of days, we've been collecting questions from people on Twitter and Tumblr, so let's get started.
Okay, we sort of adjusted some of the questions slightly because we had a few similar ones, so
Yeah.
they might not be word for word what you said, but you'll get the gist.
Sorry.
Okay, the first question, Sharon.
Yeah.
How did you break your wrist?
This is hard because I can't give anything away. Basically, we were filming a scene and something went a little bit wrong and I broke my wrist.
Oh,
Ouch.
sounds painful.
I know I can't tell you the proper story, but it'll ruin something.
Oh no, we understand, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right
That
then.
question was from Anna, by the way, sorry.
Thanks, Anna.
So this is kind of a question from kind of 3 people, Sue, Joanne and Raymundo Earl. They ask, how did you prepare for your role as Ray in regards to her being mentally ill but also making her relatable and lovable?
That's a good question. I've done a lot of research into the conditions that Ray's got. I spoke to a lot of people who have suffered with kind of mental health illnesses as well, and I spoke to some healthcare professionals too. That's really nice that people think she's lovable. I wasn't sure that would happen, so that's nice that has happened. So yeah, I took it really seriously, like you should take anything, and made sure I'd done my research.
Clearly shows.
Yeah, definitely. Are we moving on? Next question?
Yeah.
The next question is from Tash, and she asks, how do you deal with the stress of working long hours?
Hi Tash. Depends. Sometimes I deal with it really well. And other times I just become really grumpy because I'm just so tired. But it's like anything, isn't it? Even though you're doing your dream job, you still get tired. Because you're still human. But I think because there's such a great cast and crew around you, that the days just fly by. I mean, that was 5 months filming that just flew by so quickly. Before you know it, it's the last day. So it goes so quick because everyone around you is so great. So I'm really lucky that happened.
Aww.
I feel it in my bones, and Anna again asks, it's someone's Tumblr username, I promise. Okay. What was the biggest challenge when portraying Ray?
The biggest challenge?
Yeah.
I think for me the biggest challenge was making sure that I stayed real and true to the character at all times, because I think when you get you know, you dream of being an actress and you get your first job, and I think you kind of expect it to be makeup and nice clothes and it to be like it is in the films, but it's not. And you know, I don't get any makeup and I don't get to wear clothes that are my size or that I like necessarily all the time, and it's kind of hard, especially when you're working with such gorgeous people. You can feel a bit like, it's kind, you know, you can sometimes feel yourself wanting to ask for a wee bit of makeup here and there, but staying true to Ray was the hardest thing and the best thing, because I just wanted to make sure it was as real as possible. And I don't think, you know, mascara and blusher and straighteners are high up on Ray's list. Like that.
Oh God. This is a question from Claire, who is also my mom. Oh God. Although Ray has her problems, she comes across as a positive person. Do you receive any negative criticisms?
At the beginning, yes. At the beginning, before it came out, basically all I received was negative criticisms. Day in, day out. Yeah, it was really horrible. I think I've been called pretty much everything under the sun.
That's unfair though, isn't it, really? Because no one has even seen it yet, and you're already being criticised with it.
Exactly. And I know that maybe the advert was on a wee bit too much and people were getting fed up with it.
I love
but
it.
That's not my, you know, I have no control over that, and that's what I keep trying to explain to people on Twitter just now. Like, I have no control over when the show comes out. I've done, like, my job. I'm just an actor. You know, I have to think when you find out. Most of the time, it's either you who are on hand and email to tell me what's going on. So most of the time I rely on you guys to hear the gossip and stuff. But, you know, it got a bit silly because it started to be death threats and all these kind of stupid things people were saying, and it got ridiculous. So I figured out that if it was that bad before the show had even been on, you know, I was going to have to come off Twitter, ignore all social media, you know, until the show had come out. But luckily I stayed on and met all you lovely guys and everyone else who have been really lovely and supportive. So the beginning was horrible, but now it's calmed down.
That's good to hear.
I've got just thought of a little question here. The trailer for the first series, do you think it did it justice? Because we kind of thought it didn't actually really reflect what the show kind of was.
I think at the beginning, I think for any show before it comes out, it's really hard to try and entice people and make people want to see it in as well, because I hadn't done anything apart from like a music video and things like that people would know me from. So they had like me, this complete unknown, leading a cast who are predominantly more experienced than me. I'm not the average girl, like, you know, the conventionally pretty girl, all that rubbish. So I think they thought we'll keep it fun and light, and I mean, it was a great day. We had a great day filming it, and it was just a shame that the reaction was the way it was. But I think when the clips started being shown, I think that's when people started to get a gist of what the show was about. So I wasn't sad to say goodbye to that trailer.
Yeah. I liked it. I can remember watching it, and like me and my dad was like obsessed with watching it every time it came on, and he was like, I'm going to watch that. He never did. Because he was like at football every time it was on, and I was like, thank God. But oh my God, I was addicted to that trailer.
I never saw the trailer. I did. I literally, it was because Friends wasn't on Comedy Central. I was like, what am I going to watch? Joe, this was the second episode, and I was thinking, I started watching it, and I was like, this is really good. I love this. And then straight after, I watched the first episode on 4OD, and I loved it. And it was from there, really. And it all...
Yeah, I remember I was watching telly with my mum when the advert came on, and I was sort of like, oh, I wonder what this is like. I was like, well, it looks a bit, I don't know, looks a bit weird.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the advert's like her fantasy almost.
Yeah.
And then my mum just looked at me and rolled her eyes and went, oh, I suppose you'll be adding that to your list of programmes you watch. And I was like, maybe. Yes, how right she was.
Very right.
Oh gosh. Okay, so we've got a question from Super. I think she might be called Susie. She said, do you find it hard maintaining the Lincolnshire accent during filming?
I hate answering this question because I said this to you guys before.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being a bit, like, I don't know, kind of dismissive by going, no. But I don't. I really like doing accents, and I always have. And I kind of, in a way, prefer doing a character in an accent because it helps to keep us separate. And I think because you're playing Ray for so long, like, during the day, you kind of just get used to it. It just becomes, like, second nature. But I don't stay in the accent, though. I speak in my normal accent. Sometimes I'd speak in my normal accent to see if anybody was paying attention. I'd pretend no one noticed.
Maybe that's just a compliment to your acting skills. They're just so engrossed in the scene.
Yeah.
My Scottish accent's rubbish. They think I need to work on it.
You say that.
Baffles me.
Okay, so Stephanie, aka Green Angel Heart, asks, after filming some of the darker scenes in the series, does it affect you afterwards? Do you need a little time to hide away, or can you just leave it behind when they yell cut?
Unfortunately, because the schedule is so busy, you don't really get a chance to think about it because we don't film in order. We don't film, we don't film in episode order necessarily. Sometimes we switch between episodes and we never film in story order ever. So one minute you can be doing like a sexy scene, and the next minute you could be doing a self-harm scene. I mean from the first series, when Ray gets to like know herself a little better, we can in the one day, so you're going through like all these different emotions. So you kind of just need to suck it up and get on with it, really.
Yeah.
A question actually. A question actually about that scene. Was that really awkward, like, for you to do?
Do you know what? It was like, hilarious. It had come up on the call sheet. Sorry. It had appeared on the call sheet, and everyone was getting really antsy about it because they were like, oh, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? Oh, this is going to be really mortifying. I wasn't bothered. I thought it was really funny. And I went back after I'd got changed into my other costume, and the place was deserted. I walked on set, and there was just the cameraman, the director, and the continuity lady. And I was like, what happened? Where did everybody go? And they were like, Sharon, we're going to take this very seriously. That was it. Laughed the whole way through. You'll notice that my face and my area are not in the same shot because I was laughing too much. Who was filming it was the sweetest, loveliest cameraman, and he was from South Africa, and he was just shouting things like, move your hand faster, move your hand faster. I was just laughing, and then he kept shouting at me to take it seriously, and that was it. Just laughed for the rest of the afternoon. It was brilliant, but no one else found it funny. Everyone else was mortified, making me like do that. It's a perfectly natural thing. It's not that big a deal. And can I just point out, guys, I'm not actually doing anything. Like, it's just acting. I'm just acting. But it was brilliant. It was really good fun. I don't think they thought it was as funny as me, but I thought it was funny.
At least that's something.
Exactly.
What?
Okay.
Okay, that was a bit awkward. Having technical difficulties, I think.
Oh, yeah, I think sorry. Well, is it my question? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. We are. Oh, I found it right. This question, sorry. This is from, I think it's Mexican Princess Brienne.
Yeah.
Erin, and Tiffany Amber. They all ask, what was the most painful?
What was that?
Brogan, your background noise went high again.
Oh, sorry.
You're going to have to ask that again.
So I'll go again. So that was from Mexican Princess Brienne, Erin, and Tiffany Amber. They all ask, what was the most meaningful or emotional taxing scene to film?
From the first series? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just answering more questions now. Oh, that's